Yeah, Josh, we're going to talk about loot boxes today, which I know, our favorite things in the world are loot boxes.
I love loot
So,
boxes.
so I'm going to preface with something, a story that we didn't talk about, because I think that this story is a good lead in to the main
Okay.
part of this topic here.
As long as you did your research first, that's fine.
I did a couple seconds of Reddit reading, so I think I'm equipped to
I'm busting your
talk about
nuts.
this. Oh, baby. Bust them harder. All right, so Josh,
Brett.
NBA 2K21 is a basketball video game, very popular. Very popular.
Unfortunately, yes.
We don't play the game. We're not big
Not at all.
basketball sports fans. If anything, we'll play some MLB, the show, or something.
Correct. That is accurate.
Personally, I think that 2K has been killing sports games as of late, and that's for reasons even besides what we're going to talk about. I'm a wrestling fan. WWE 2K, that franchise is absolute garbage. They've fumbled it every way they can, so much so that WWE 2K20 was actually canceled completely, and they made a different, more arcadey game to take its spot for 2020. So that's that. 2K, in my opinion, does not handle sports games well.
Because like a lot of sports games, not just 2K. I mean, it's like the same cookie cutter thing year over year, right?
Yep.
Maybe every 5 years you get like a little overhaul of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like EA games, they're a cash grab. They're an annualized cash grab, and I think it's disgusting, but you know what? They're profitable. So they're going to keep doing it.
That's true. And I think the answer to that problem, specifically the annualization of these games, would be to release one every couple of years and simply provide roster updates like they already do in the game.
That would be too smart, Brett.
Yeah. I mean, every year they release the game and you could do roster updates. And then after that game's 1 year lifespan, the roster updates and all that kind of shit just kind of like goes away.
Even if they charged for the roster update, I know
As
people would
DLC.
do. Yeah, people will do it.
I would do it. If WWE 2K did that, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Buy new gimmicks for the wrestlers, buy new outfits to match their current outfits, buy new characters. I would do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, NBA 2K21 is a full-priced game, Josh,
Yes, it is.
that is forcing players to watch unskippable ads in-game.
Never get too greedy, Franklin. The minute you do that, you lost your advantage.
So what this means is that NBA 2K themselves are selling ad space in the game for players to have to sit through, and they can't skip it. In my opinion, even worse than just unskippable ads are some of them were political ads. So political parties and campaigns were getting their advertisements played, unskippable ads, in a video game.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Where the market skews has a younger audience. So that broke a couple weeks ago.
When you say unskippable ads,
You have to watch
what do you
them.
mean? How? In game, on the menu, when you go into a game, when you...
I think it would be a loading, like to mask a loading screen, they would have an ad playing.
That's really bad. That's really, really bad.
So
That's very bad. It's very,
that
very
broke
bad.
a few weeks ago, and we didn't cover it. We didn't, we kind of just let it happen. We let it do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now 2K has fucked up again, Josh.
What did they
This
do now?
time, this could lead to some lawsuits, Josh.
And I'm about to call a lawyer to sue your ass off.
Uh-oh. By the way, I have no
So-
idea what you're about to talk about, so this is interesting to me.
All right, well, here we go. So, NBA 2K and a lot of 2K games have a feature called MyPlayer, Josh.
Yes.
And in MyPlayer, essentially, you buy these loot box card packs. When you open them up, and you get players, okay? And you build your own team.
Yeah. MLB
you
The
can
Show
play.
has something similar.
Yes. So you're building your own team, you're building your own roster. Now, should you have a create a team option where you could just do that and not have to pay to open the cards and get the players? Yeah, you should probably be able to do that. Should that be an unlockable? Maybe you unlock the player for doing something in game. You hit a couple home runs in MLB The Show and you unlock fucking Babe Ruth or something, Yeah, that's probably how it should be. But in NBA 2K, that's not the case. You pay.
Of course.
Now, I'm not a big basketball fan.
Correct.
I don't know anything about basketball.
Yes,
But what I do know is that there is a basketball player named James Harden.
there is.
Do you know anything about Mr. Harden at all?
I do not. I've heard his
Okay,
name
well-
before, but I couldn't even fucking tell you what team he plays on.
Okay, me too. But apparently James Harden gets people's dick hardened, and they really like him a lot.
Okay, I'm glad people like him. All right.
So when they announced that James Harden was going to be available in MyPlayer mode, people got really excited. The DLC dropped, the new card pack, if you will, dropped, and people started buying it furiously, trying to get this James Harden card so that he could be a part of their MyPlayer team. The problem, Josh, is that for 23 minutes, the first 23 minutes that this pack launched, James Harden was not added to the loot pool, although he was advertised as being in it. So if I can compare this to something, Josh, is in Overwatch, there's a skin that you really, really want for the Halloween event.
Yep.
And you drop all this money specifically for that one skin. Now, there's other skins, but they're not what you want.
Right.
And this skin was advertised as being part of it, so you want it, and you're going to spend money on it.
Yes.
Now, what if they told you, due to an error, that skin, although it was in the game, was not in the loot pool that you were buying packs for? Therefore, all of those chances you took to get that skin were futile. The skin wasn't going to pop up anyway. That's a good comparison.
I would tell them I want my fucking money back
And I'm about to call a lawyer to sue your ass off.
and to eat my fucking dirty butthole.
Now, I don't know how much it cost. I don't know, people can spend as much as they want. They could just keep buying packs and keep buying packs.
Sure.
But people could have lost hundreds of dollars here. They could have bought, 20 packs and didn't get James Harden, and then they bought an additional 20 packs and they didn't get James Harden. It's that that mentality of gambling where you're gambling, you're like, oh, I didn't get him this time. Maybe if I play again, I'll get him again.
Right. But there should with the idea that there is a chance that you could get him, right? Which I don't think
Yes.
anybody's thinking they're going to guaranteed get him if he's in the loot pool, but you're paying for the chance to potentially
Exactly.
acquire that.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
And in this case, there was no chance. They simply did not put him in the loot pool. Now, this wasn't a malicious thing. This wasn't on purpose. Clearly, this would have saved them a lot of headache and agony and potentially money if they would have just put him in. But someone fucked up and they didn't. So I'm thinking, there's going to be lawsuits here. This is going to be breaking news. This just happened an hour ago. This all just started breaking.
And I'm about to call a lawyer to sue your ass off.
Did it say anything about them, or did they put out a statement about refunding people at all, or no?
It was so fresh that they haven't made a comment. At the time of us recording this, which is a good point, Josh, at the time of us recording this, the only thing that's happened is the pack came out, people bought it, and then they found out James Harden wasn't in it.
They should refund people's money, or give them that many packs that they purchased for free,
Or just give them James Harden. Maybe.
or that. Yeah.
Which is funny because that would be a big fuck you, because I'm assuming he was probably the hardest one to get in the pack, or would be, and they're going to have to give it away for free because they fucked up. It's like, fuck you, fuck loot boxes, So,
Oh yeah.
Josh, what do you think about this as a whole? Clearly it's bad, but what do you think, and what do you think about loot boxes in general? When is it done right, if ever? And, with all of these countries banning, I think Belgium banned loot boxes. I believe 2 more countries just last week banned loot boxes. They deem them as gambling. What do you think about loot boxes?
Well, I mean, they are essentially gambling if you're paying real money for them. You're paying for a chance to acquire something.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
To win something. I don't necessarily have a problem with loot boxes, depending on how they are done. First of all, they should only ever have cosmetic items in them, right? They should not be pay to win. They should not be game breaking. They should not be, oh, if you get this, you'll blah blah blah. They should be cosmetic items strictly, or even I don't have a problem with double XP or things like that you get in them.
Let me ask you, and you might not know this, I don't know this, is acquiring James Harden in MyPlayer mode, is that pay to win? Because is he good? You know what I mean? Would that be pay to win?
Maybe in a sense, but also, I can only really give you my contact that I have with MLB. For example, MLB, you acquire packs, you get packs from in-game challenges and things like that, and experience in-game. and your player level.
Yeah.
But you can also purchase packs, and in those you can get stadiums and equipment and players, right? But for me, that pool is so diverse. It's not like a Call of Duty, right? Where like, oh, you're gonna get this gun that's 10 times more powerful than anything else, So then maybe that's kind of what I would compare it to. Maybe it's a little pay to winny because he's so good. I would assume his in-game stats are so good, but I think it might be a little bit different just because there's such a diverse pool of players to pull from, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't have a problem with like usually strictly cosmetic things. But I think also the way that you present them and sell them are very different. A game that does loot boxes really well, Overwatch. Overwatch has always done loot boxes really well. You can purchase loot boxes, absolutely, but you can also acquire them, in game from ranking up or whatever. You can purchase loot boxes that are regular loot boxes. When they do events, you can purchase those, but you can also unlock those like things. So, for example, like their Halloween events, you can purchase Halloween loot boxes, but you can always also acquire them from in-game stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
A game that does not do them well, or maybe that doesn't more middle of the road that I think is okay, but I think is too expensive. Apex Legends, right?
Yeah.
You acquire them from leveling up, right? From buying the battle pass and things like that. They're all cosmetic items that are in there, right? I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think they're way too expensive, but the way that they're presented, I don't have a problem with. For anything that is like, what's a bad example? I don't know, NBA 2K that we're talking about, to me seems like kind of a bad example. Something that would be game breaking, something that costs a lot of money, and something where the company is not transparent with the drop rate of different tiered items.
Yeah.
If the company is not transparent about the ability or the percentage drop rate or probability of acquiring something or a tier of item, no, that's bad. No.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point to bring up, actually, because I think that during all of the banning of the loot boxes in different countries, one of the things that was the conclusion in the case was they're not banned. Loot boxes aren't banned in some countries, but you have to, publicly display the drop rate of the items in the loot boxes.
Right.
So that's a good point to bring up, actually. Overwatch specifically had to put the drop rates. I don't know if they're in game, but they are publicly available.
Yeah. And that's fine. Listen, it all comes down to kind of just the way that the company presents it. If you're honest about it and you feel like these are just cosmetic, that's fine. I think a game that does it terribly is like Call of Duty. They're mostly cosmetic, but they started adding weapons, paid weapons, and things like that.
I was gonna say, so that was the maybe like 2 or 3 Call of Duties ago. Now they strictly do the battle pass, and there is loot boxes in them and stuff like that, but I don't know if you can straight up buy them.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And they made it so like you would have to actually progress in the battle pass.
But
you could still buy battle pass levels though.
Right. And yes, you're correct. You were accurate. But you need to buy like the premium battle pass to get some of the weapons and things like that they added. I don't know, whatever. I don't
still
like
pay
that.
Still pay to win.
I don't like that. And I think Call of Duty, dude, every time I open up Call of Duty, man, and I go to the store page, there's just so much fucking shit all over the place. That game is a mess.
Is NBA Activision?
2K?
It's 2K. Who publishes? Is 2K the publisher?
2K is the publisher, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Their parent organization is Take-Two, so.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
And then their subsidiaries, 2K Sports, Hangar 13, Visual Concepts, whatever. So they're the publisher.
Okay. They're just as bad as Activision.
Yeah, and EA.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's EA Activision, so whatever. Anyway. Really bad, not good. They should give people money back, and if they don't, sue them. Sue their fucking ass off. Hello, my fellow human being. Thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Do you know that it's actually part of a larger podcast called Hapticast? Check it out by clicking here.